Oh yeah. Yeah, that's where we're going. Good afternoon and welcome back to Mimsy Park. Today we're going into the heart of the Rockies, deep into the Rockies actually, to a place called St Elmo. We've visited there before, but last time was actually, I had my phone. There's more traffic along this road than I thought there was going to be. Anyway, last time we did this was with my phone. I apologize for the wind, it's kind of going back and forth. Hopefully will not be that big of an issue today though. We'll see when we get up in there. Hopefully the enclosures and everything, there's a lot of trees, lots of buildings to hopefully break up the wind. So we'll have to see about that once we actually get up there. But we are going to St Elmo today. It is one of the most well-preserved mining towns in Colorado. It is a ghost town. There's a population of like 3 people in this town. So we're gonna go ahead and just call this one a ghost town. So we are going to get up there. We've got about another 10 to 15 miles left on the trip. We're already on the back roads. I'm already off the main road. I know you see cars kind of coming back and forth here, but we are definitely off of the main road and we still have about another 10 to 15 miles to go. So here we go. Okay, so we are here at St Elmo and this is pretty much the scene as soon as you make your way into town. We do have old building here. I don't entirely remember what all of these buildings are. It's been a while since I've been here, and I will say the parking is actually further. You go right around this corner actually where this car's coming out of here, and right around there is going to be the parking right in front of the general store and really on the main road that goes through the town. And so that's actually where I ended up parking, but this is actually the scene you get when you first come into town here. It's kind of easy to see why people wanted to settle here in the first place, because right on the opposite side of that you get this view, which is just, yeah, why would you not want to live next to that? Anyway, let's make our way into town, start looking at some of these buildings, and we'll kind of go through the history of the town a little bit while we're here. Last time was kind of just seeing the town after having read about it. The wind does not seem to be too bad, however, it is pretty noticeable. But with all that said, let's head into St Elmo. So we do have a map of the town here. So this entrance right here, or this intersection right here, is going to be that right there where that stop sign is. And basically you can see this goes down quite a ways. They do have the numbers of the buildings here. I don't know how that correlates necessarily, but we do the general store here. I'm parked in this area here. And then basically if you come out around here, this is kind of, oh no, we're right here. I'm dumb, it tells us where we're at. Ha, right there. Okay, so we're right there. Yeah, and then if we come down and we're gonna go into town. That building is this building right here, which we're gonna take a look at. And then we're gonna make our way into town down this way. So we have the Pawnee Mill stable here. I don't know if we can get a good look in here. I do see, like, I don't know if you can see that there's something in there. It's how like every horror movie starts. There's something in there, let's go look at it. Yeah, why would I think that would be open? Oh, there's some bed springs right there. And down here we have this other end of it down here. So you can see it comes down, I mean, it comes down a good ways. That held a lot of equipment, I would imagine. I'm not sure what this is. Oh, it's an old blacksmith shop. I can't really, you can see a little bit in there. I see a wagon. I do see a wagon. Let's see if we can get this so you guys can see this. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to get it. This is about as overexposed as I can get it and you still can't see in there. Take my word for it though, there's a wagon in there. You can kind of see, so you can see the wagon wheels down there. If you look right around this area, you can see the wagon wheels in there. I can't tell what they're for though. There's some kind of furniture or locomotive, something going on in there. I'm not really sure what's going on in there. Ah, there we go. You can definitely see some wheels in there. I hate to get my hand in the shop, but you can kind of see there's like a carriage or cart of some kind. I would imagine it was for minerals or stuff like that. The mine is around here somewhere. There were actually several of them. I believe there were 4 or 5 main mines whenever it was actually going and actually bustling and everything. But towards the end, it was only one mine that actually kept the whole thing going, because it actually had a gold deposit that they were pulling, and they were pulling a lot of gold out of the same mine that they were getting the silver from, because Colorado was the silver state, not the gold state. That was California. And so a lot of the silver was coming out of here, and then once the silver standard got switched over to a gold standard by the government, that's basically when silver kind of went down, and then all the mines except one shut down, and that's basically what kept the whole town going for a long time. Now there are about 3 people that still live here, I believe, and there are a ton of people here. It's a huge tourist attraction. So we do have the general store, is this building right here. There's a ton of buildings down here: City Hall, jail, the hotel, which we're going to touch on here shortly actually. And right here we have the guest house, which has 3 bedrooms. I believe it's 3 bedrooms. And we can't go inside, it's for guests only, but it is a guest house that you can rent, and it's got a beautiful view. See, this is what blows my mind. Is that legitimate? Private home? I mean, it looks like they renovated it, like they're trying to like rebuild. The first building you see when you come in is a cabin that you can rent. So there are still places to rent here. It is very much a tourist destination, but it's a low step from the booming mining town that it used to be. So right here really does kind of start the old part of town. This is a lot of the old buildings, a lot of historical stuff. It's got explanations of the buildings. This is where they're restoring everything. An older couple actually just stopped and told me that up that road and around that way, there's actually some old carts and old equipment that way. I'm hoping we can find like an entrance to one of the mines. That would be awesome. That would be really cool. I would enjoy that. But I'm gonna settle for old mining equipment. Okay, so here is the map that I remember. This is the area where we started, right over here, and this is where we're at right now. This is the part of town that I'm really looking forward to, because the history is the whole reason that I'm here. It's the whole reason that I love these places. From a historical perspective, this stuff is really impressive and really important, because all of this mining industry and all these mining towns are a huge part of American history and American culture. Do you hear the way I said that? And American culture, for better or for worse. And so it's really cool coming to these places and being able to see one restored like this is not very common. This is very unique. It's very rare to see a place be this restored and be this old and have an active project to really restore the whole thing. This is really cool. This is why I've come back twice now, though. Oh, wow. I don't remember those doors being open last time. I could be mistaken, but I'm almost positive those doors were closed last time. So this must have been the jail, because you can see the ball and chain there, and it's got the bars there. In fact, now I know for a fact that those doors were not open, because last time I could not figure out for the life of me what this was until I read something on here, which I'm now finding. It says Town Hall and Jail right there. It looks like it only housed one person. I could imagine in a small town. I mean, they had a lot of people. It was a booming mining industry, but it's still a small town. And I would imagine in a small town, you probably don't have a lot of crime. I know back then people handled their differences a little bit differently. And so I don't imagine they needed a whole lot of space for the jail. The town was actually run by a man named Tony Stark. Him and his family ran the town actually into the 1960s. The town basically went defunct by the 20s. Population just dropped and dropped and dropped. The Stark family tried to maintain the town and keep it open and everything, but unfortunately there just wasn't enough business to keep everything going, and it's kind of a sad story. The Starks did go from this upper class family in town and basically hit rock bottom, and by the time the last Stark was in town, which was Annabelle Stark, which is one of the children, the store had old expired food, it had old expired stuff in it. Just not a good situation. Now, speaking of the Stark children, it is said that Anna Stark, the mother, was a super controlling woman, supposed to be just no fun at all. She basically felt that the kids were too good for the simple town folk, and didn't want them associating with simple town folk. And so what she did was basically hole them up and make them work at the store that they owned, which I believe was the general store that's still here, and the hotel. And the hotel is supposed to be the haunted location of St. Elmo. Annabelle is supposed to be the ghost that haunts the hotel. Now, she did escape, as she put it, I believe in the 1920s. And she used the word escape because she felt like this place was a prison. She felt like this place was, she was forced to be here. Her mom made her stay here, made her do all sorts of stuff. So she did leave at a certain point, married a guy named Walt down in Salida, ended up coming back after they separated, died here, and is now supposed to haunt the hotel. The Stark Brothers store and post office, which was actually owned by Tony Stark and his family, who basically ran the town. The whole family just basically ran this entire town. It was basically a bed and breakfast and a store. This is where Annabelle and the kids were basically forced to work. Their mother forced them to work here, spend all their time here, because again, she felt that they were better than the kids in the town, than the regular people in town. That she felt the whole family was really just kind of better than everybody else in town, which really is kind of funny when you think about how everybody was pretty much broke by the end of it. Maybe funny isn't the right word for it. He started working as a boss in one of the mines. They got more money, they opened the post office and the store, and you can kind of see that they ran it as kind of a bed and breakfast hotel, because it does have kind of a residential feel to it as well. If the hotel is haunted, this is basically where Annabelle's aggression started. No trespassing. I don't know if people own these homes. Nobody's living here. There's no possible way somebody lives in this house, yet there we have a no trespassing sign. You know what I mean? Considering how old it is, it's a fairly large house, I gotta say. Given how the sheer age of this place and the short amount of time that they were here, it's incredible to me how many structures are still here. I mean, look at this. It goes all the way down here. You see the main road down that way? It's incredible that this stuff is still here. They do have a renovation project and everything going on, but regardless, it's impressive and incredible that all of this stuff is still standing here. It really is like walking back in time. I want to shoot a short film here. Ooh, a porch. None of these other houses have porches. It is firewood. Again, none of this looks like people do or even should be living in it. I don't know if they set this stuff up to give it the appearance and to give it that back in time feel, but I don't think people live in these. I hope not, because I'm talking about their home and them right next. Like, look, right here, touching the glass. I hope nobody lives here. I've always wondered if mining now or ever was a good occupation monetarily, because I mean, considering how old these are and what age they were built in, these seem pretty big houses to me. I mean, even by today's standards, these are pretty decent sizes. I've lived in apartments that were a third this size. See, I know I've watched too many horror movies because I fully expect somebody to peek around, peek through that window. I just watched too many scary movies. No wonder why people wanted to live here. There's the house, and there's the river. So I think we're gonna go ahead and walk up this way a little bit more. We may head back into town. I haven't decided yet. If it does turn out to be a long hike, we may go ahead and head back into town and see the rest of the buildings and then come up this way. I haven't really decided yet. I didn't really plan this out. These historical towns are just they're so rich in history, and they tell stories that just aren't told anymore because we've moved past this. Okay, that is a steep hill. I think we're just gonna head back into town. We're gonna check out some of the other buildings. I know there's an area where we can go drive and go check out some stuff like that. You know, there may be a reason that a construction company called Older Than Dirt is working on this building, because this may be the most ruined building I've seen so far. This thing is not holding up well. Very much in need of repair and renovation. Yeah, the roof is gone. Can't go in there, obviously. Now, as I said before, there is a huge renovation project going on, which you can see going on right here. I mean, you can see this place is just coming down, but they are renovating it. You can see the new lumber here. You got everything out here. Looks like they're kind of just making their way down the street, because I know a lot of these they were working on before when I came here. You can see that they're still kind of working on it and just kind of making their way down this way. This one could definitely use some tender love and care, I think. Cash Chris building. Casey, I'm dumb. No, it does say Cash. Cash Chris, is that a name? So it does say here, please excuse the curtains this time of year. The sun is directly from the south and damages the interior wallpaper. So that's why we can't see in there right now. That's a shame. It's coming down here though, we can kind of see in there. Not too well, but a little bit. Some furniture, some old wooden boxes, some type of, right in front of us here, wooden bear in there. But even just like walking down, just these old wooden paths here that go along, it just has that old west vibe. Like you just feel like you've stepped back in time just being in this town, because everything's still so well preserved. You have the buildings that they're renovating here. You still have all of the old wooden paths here. It feels like you stepped back into an old west town. If anybody's ever seen Tombstone, it feels like walking onto the set of Tombstone. Okay, so we do have the hotel parlor here, but we're not going to go in there simply because that is where a lot of the information is. So if you do come to St. Elmo, there's a lot of information in here, but it's very quiet. Everybody's kind of reading, and I didn't want to be a distraction to anybody, because this I can get away with. I don't really care if people are looking, but if it's just straight up a distraction, that's just annoying to everybody. But that is where you will find a lot of information, a lot of history about the town. It did mention, and I was corrected, Annabelle actually passed away in 1960, and after that it was basically one resident until like a few years ago when it jumped up to 3 residents. Okay, well, I have walked up and down that main street. There is more to see. We're nowhere near done yet. However, I think with the main street, we're pretty good. The plan now is to make the hike up this mountain hill. It's a pretty steep hill if that's considered a hill. But that's the plan right now. Make our way up that hill and see if we can find some of the old mining equipment. There better be something at the top of this hill. Well, I'm glad I looked over here. I could have walked right past this thing. So as you're coming up the trail here, if you look to the right, there's an old abandoned house with a trail leading right up to it. We may be able to actually go inside here. If there's a fence, I'm not looking to trespass. I'm not looking to do anything bad. But if I can get inside and explore, why would I not go inside and explore? I gotta be honest, I am not sure what to make of this. I am so out of breath. Good God, I'm out of shape. I'm very out of breath. I mean, okay, that's not like a super steep hill. I am so out of breath. I have no idea what this could have been. There's no sign anywhere. I don't know if we can go in here, but I don't see anything saying not to. It's definitely being restored. All that wood up there is still clearly new. We can at least get a look in here. I don't want to ruin anything, and that's encouraging. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that's probably not very stable. However, it still does not answer the question of what the heck this thing could have been. I cannot seem to find anything that would indicate what it was. You know what? It may be an old train car. I think it was an old train car because it goes all the way back. I mean, right? It looks like an old train car. This definitely looked like some kind of chute, maybe? Where they sent down the gold, or no, it looks like it would maybe come down these boards here and then down to there, where I would assume a cart was waiting and they would take it off in trains. Do you see train tracks? I don't see train tracks. No train tracks. I don't know if the phrase pulled up their tracks is a literal statement, but there are no railroad tracks up here. I did not come down this way last time. I have no idea what's over here. Yep, all the yes. We are gonna go that way. I don't know if this is going to be a real ghost house. I don't imagine they've got some touristy haunted house set up out here. I don't even know if there is a real ghost house over here. All I know is I saw a sign for ghost house. I want to go to a ghost house. We're in a ghost town. I want to go to a ghost house. I just hope it's actually up here and it's not some like rock formation. Oh, I'm gonna be so upset if it's a rock formation. Oh, no way. It's real. is 100% real, and I am 100% thrilled. I gotta lie, that is a pretty creepy house. Oh, good information. The ghost house. The ghost house was originally built in 1886 by Thad Dick. The next occupants were the Thorndale family. The Thorndales were considered well-to-do by St Elmo standards because they could afford luxuries such as hair ribbons, dress trim, and candy from the local mercantile. Hair ribbons, dress trim, and candy. Those were considered luxuries back then. I made myself sick on candy last night. So that's a little misleading. They think it's named after Alan M. Ghost. Great. Thanks, Alan. I don't think we're gonna be able to see in there. Nothing ghostly. I mean, it's creepy, but no ghosties. I just realized that going into the woods looking for haunted houses and ghosts is like exactly how the Blair Witch Project started. With that said, I'm gonna go follow this trail deeper into the woods now. Looks like we might have some kind of fallen cabin over there. I'm not really sure, but I'm sure we're gonna go look at it. Not very big, but big enough to live in the mountains. Oh, here we go. There's a sign on here. Rainbow Trail open. Oh, well, that's not helpful. It's also not helpful because I don't know which way it's supposed to point. Okay, seriously, is there like camping allowed out here? Because there's a fire there, there's wood over there. Either somebody camped out here where they're not supposed to, or it's super old because we're really not supposed to be camping out here. Oh boy, I hope those are dog tracks, not cougars or something big. I found probably the best walking stick I've ever found. It's curved just the way I need it to be. And I believe what we have here is one of the old mine trails. I do remember reading that one of the last mines they had here was about 2,000 feet above the town. Now, I don't know how high up we are right now, or how much further up we've gone. The air definitely feels a little thinner. You can see not too far away, mountains with snow over there. It just boggles my mind that they used to do this by hand and on foot with donkeys and boxes. They load it up onto the mules and then they make their way all the way down that. I'm out of breath just doing this. If I die out here and somebody finds this footage, give it to Mike, have him edit it. You know, I'm starting to think that this is a waste of time coming down here, and then out of nowhere, after a good, I'd say 20 minutes of hiking, that, out here in the absolute middle of nowhere. I don't know what it was. It was a cabin of some kind. I can't really tell. It's all broken down, and the trail honestly kind of ends right here. Oh wait, no it doesn't. It keeps going. I was seriously about to turn around and give up hope on this, but I think I need to keep going because I can't believe I found that. It came out of absolutely nowhere. I was seriously about to turn around, and then that thing just popped up out of nowhere. So I think we're gonna keep going. The mine may be down here. Who knows? Let's find out. Here we go. That's snow. That's snow. It's not cold up here. I don't know if I've ever smelled pine needles so strongly before. I don't get outdoors enough. This needs to happen more often. It's just unbelievable. It's just beautiful out here. I am literally walking on a bed of snow and pine needles. I don't know if that's safe. I'm sure some guide or tour type person is going to have a heart attack watching me do that, but I promise it feels stable. I don't think it's going anywhere. I honestly think it's too heavy and wet to go anywhere. Oh, holy crap. Oh, this must have been part of the fire. I know there's a big fire here. Look how big this is. I don't know. This couldn't have been a house, right? You guys gotta see this. Do you think that's their Christmas tree? I mean, it's a pretty decent open space. I don't know who Hawk is. Isn't that one of the Warriors from that 80s movie, The Warriors? Who walks around going, I am Hawk. I need everyone to know that I am Hawk and that Hawk was here. Hawk. Well, That's all the water. I didn't think this through. Usually if you were to do something like this, you would prepare a little more than I have. With that said, let's just keep going deeper. Deeper and deeper into the woods until we find, not what we came to look for originally, but what we're on the search for now, which is, honestly, I don't know. Seeing more of these structures is giving me hope that we're getting closer to something, but I don't actually know what's at the end of this. Okay, well, we have yet again another obstacle. This one looks a little more difficult to get over. We're gonna give this a shot. I'm gonna go up and around here. Maybe we'll go up. Walking stick, come on, walking stick. There we go. Ah! Ah! Okay. Whew. Okay, there we go. Moving on. Not even sure how close we are, to be honest. It could be right around the corner. It could be right around 20 more corners. I don't know. I know this view is just amazing. What used to be an old mining road, which we will be going down for sure, has now turned into a river carrying what everything in nature needs to survive, and this water carries right down into the Arkansas River and adds itself to the Arkansas River. I think that's pretty beautiful. The problem now is I don't know where the road goes. I don't know if it's safe to keep going or if there's even anything over there. For all I know, the snow here could be covering the mine entrance. I really don't know. I have decided that this is not where those people were telling me to go, where the mine carts were, because I just don't think they made it up this far. So I guess all that's left to do now is just, I guess, keep going? I don't know. Let's go up here, we'll see if this is sturdy or not. And go from there. I see machinery up here. I do. I see machinery up here. Some kind of machinery for sure. I'm not exactly sure what though. Some grating in there. I'm not sure what would have gone in there. If anybody knows what this equipment is, I'd love to know. Really not sure what that would be. Steam power maybe? Coal? Not sure. I would imagine everything, you throw the coal in there and it heats it up and does whatever it did. Again, I'm not sure what that thing would have been though. Now I do have good news and I do have bad news, and they're the same thing, because I think we have found the entrance to the mine. That's the good news. The bad news is, I think that's the entrance to the mine. Yeah, caved in. I would imagine it's caved in. I don't know if there's anything below that. It doesn't look like it goes down into the ground. It could have also been right through there. We're gonna look around this area, but I'm pretty sure that's the mine entrance right there. Not too surprising, considering how long all of this stuff has been up here. It took about 2 hours to get up here. 2 hours of walking, stopping to film a couple spots, but mostly non-stop walking. I didn't really stop, didn't really do any breaks or anything unless I was stopping to film. And it still took about a good hour and a half to 2 hours to get up here. And the fact that it took that long carrying minimal equipment, think what they had to do to get cart loads and mule loads of rocks and minerals and heavy metals down this friggin' mountain, down to town, and then to get it taken out is just, it's mind-boggling, man. It's like, people complain about sitting in offices. Don't get me wrong, we're overworked. I get that. And nobody wants to go back to doing this. I totally get that. But just the contrast and the comparison and the sheer willpower to make something happen, to come out here and make that money, is just, because that's really what it was. It's basically about getting out here, making your money as quickly as you can, because the mine is going to dry up. That's why there's so many ghost towns in Colorado. There's like nearly 1,000 of them last time I checked. So to do all of that is just mind-boggling to me. Like the strength and the willpower that it would take to do something like that is just, it's really impressive when you think about it. That's what I love about this stuff. It just really shows you where we came from and what we had to do to get to the point that we're at now. So I think we're gonna head down now, head down this very steep thing of rocks here. I'm just blown away, I really am. I might have to sit here a minute and just enjoy this. Well, obstacles aside, this is a substantially easier trip going down than it is coming up. We have a heck of a hike ahead of us though, I will say that. We are down off the mountain, making our way back down. There's that main road that goes right there. So we're pretty close to town. Gonna go down there. So we're coming back into town now and there's no one here. Like, it actually feels like a ghost town now. The sky is not getting friendlier. So we'll kind of see how that plays out. But I think for now, we're gonna go ahead and go back to the car. Okay, well, it would appear the weather is making up my mind for me because there is a lot of thunder. It is getting very dark and it is only 5 p.m. when it is not supposed to be very dark. So I think we've got one heck of a storm about to roll in through here. And I do not want to be stuck up in these woods like this and these back roads whenever a huge storm rolls in. So I think we are going to go ahead and call the video there. If you guys did like the video, go ahead and throw me a like. And if you do want to see the next one and stay up to date on future videos, go ahead and throw me a subscription. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys next time.